Hello and welcome back to the Give and Go. I'm your co-host Reynoso here with my boy
Soltero. What's up, guys?
And today we got a little bit of a different stream because producer Rudd is out of town today. So we're gonna deal with a one shot right here, which I actually have to focus. So could you keep the viewers entertained for a little bit? I gotta focus the camera.
I mean, I have nothing to say in this episode. I apologize from the get-go, guys. Atletico losing today. Barcelona losing as well. Spanish football lost today, and the trend's only going to continue with Real Madrid losing tomorrow against Manchester City. So just get prepared. If you're any La Liga fans out there, it's over. Spanish football's dead.
It's dead. It's dead, man.
Dead.
What a result today. Let's get right into what the chat is talking about to start off. Barcelona against PSG. Now, for context, Soltero was fully in the Atleti Dortmund match, so
yeah,
I'm sure you don't have much to say about just the actual happenings, right?
No.
But I was watching this game full on, head on. I was enjoying this match, and my goodness, what a game. The first question that I have for you guys that I want to know right away in the chat is that red card. Was it a justifiable red card, in your opinion, from Araujo, who got beat by Barcola, beats him and is essentially one-on-one with the keeper because Cubarsí was to his right, but he was not going to catch up. Araujo brings him down right outside the box. Maybe could have been a pen. I was open to it. But he gets a red card 30 minutes into the match, having to deal with an entire hour being down a man for Barcelona. That, in my opinion, defined the match, bro. That defined it because from that moment on, PSG was completely dominant, and credit to them, they did their best to actually take advantage of the advantage that was given to them. Yeah. Whereas a lot of teams might have disappointed, PSG stepped up and laid, 4 goals on them in this match? Mbappe getting a brace in the process. But I want to know, what do you guys think about that red card call? Was it correct? Was it just really harsh? Or was it the wrong call overall? Let's look at the chat here. I'm seeing, Water Droll says 100% red. In what world is that not a red, says Jaime Galvan. Sadly, yes, it was, says Matt Universe. I agree with you guys. I agree because, dude, I saw it over and over again. Initially, I thought, you know what? This is a pretty harsh call. It's pretty harsh. 30 minutes into the match, and he didn't completely annihilate him once he got past him. He just kind of pulled him off and he brought him down. But looking at the textbook, looking at the fact that Barcola was going to be one-on-one with Ter Stegen, there was nothing else to be said, bro. It was a red. It's just so harsh because, boom, you're down a man for an entire hour.
I think that's my take on it too. You showed me it when it happened very quickly live. I glanced at it, and my first take was, I was like, damn it, it's a little soft. It is. But it also is a foul. Yeah. It's a soft foul, and unfortunately, the circumstance was it was one-on-one if the foul hadn't been done. Yeah. So it has to be a red due to that case. There's nothing else to be said, really. It's just really, really unlucky, though, if you're Barcelona, because, I mean, it's an understatement when you say red cards change games. And especially when you're playing against Dembele, Barcola, Mbappe, you're going to get cooked. Yeah. And unfortunately for Barcelona, I don't think anyone had a red card in mind, and I think that moment really shook them.
No, bro, they got cooked. It was stir fry, it was kimchi, it was carne asada, bro. Whatever you like, whatever the menu wanted, bro, they got cooked. But here's the thing, dude. What really, I guess, kind of upset me in a sense was that I'm really mad that this is how it played out ultimately because Araujo just made a really dumb mistake, but Barcelona was dominating PSG, bro. They were up 2 goals on him by a beautiful Lamine Yamal drive where he then slid the ball through to Rafinha, who gets a beautiful finish on it. They go up 4-2 on aggregate, and they look completely in control. I saw a comment here that said, PSG fans say thank you to the refs because had it not been for that call, this game would have been much different. And it really would have, bro. Because Barcelona, even getting the result away from home, we predicted last episode that, you know what, it was the only team where we flipped on our prediction. We said Barcelona looks like the favorite to win it now. Yeah. And they were doing that 30 minutes in, but then that stupid red card, bro. I can't. If you're a Barca fan, I mean, you must be so frustrated with that. So frustrated, bro, because it really did define the entire match.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do either. You'll never really know what this game could have been. It's nobody's fault, but that's football.
That's football.
If you make clumsy mistakes, you will get punished for them. And unfortunately for Barcelona, it just happened to be in this major match in Spain, bro. Yeah. But my question is once PSG started to mount a comeback, clearly Barcelona should have had some sort of response to that. Did they?
They had a couple.
Did they try to bunker
couple.
defensively, or did they try to counter a PSG? How did they respond once PSG got that first goal?
Initially they bunkered in. But throughout the match, they brought in Joao Felix, they brought in Ferran Torres off the bench.
Okay.
They went offensive towards the last 10 minutes. I would say they had about 2 chances. Rafinha had a really nice drive into the box where he just kind of slid the ball out wide. And then Lewandowski was like on a kind of weird 2-on-1, 3-on-1 type play with Ferran Torres open to his right hand side, decides not to hand the ball off to him, shoots it from outside the box, gets blocked, and Ferran Torres looked pissed off in that moment, man, because he was wide open for a shot. They tried, but a lot of these opportunities were just really tough to make because ultimately PSG always had that extra man, whether it was on defense or whether it was in the midfield. They always had the advantage, but for the most part, they tried to bunker in, and it was that João Cancelo penalty that ultimately did them in, man. Like that really dumb mistake where he lunges in and he brings on Dembele to then lead to Kylian Mbappe getting the penalty goal. Shout out to my boy. That was the moment for me where I was like, okay, Barca's done. There's no coming back from this. They might have a couple of chances, but there's no way that they get back into this match, especially because if they scored and tied it, they would have gone to extra time, bro. And I mean, that it just would not have played out for him. The deal was done once Araujo got that red card, and it's so disappointing. Let's look at these messages right here. We have Mateo Pegasus, super chat, $5. Thank you, bro. Who was the defender pocketing Mbappe? Low key, man. Y'all remember last episode? Y'all were going at me for the whole Mbappe allegations, for the things I said about Mbappe in comparison to Haaland. I said, let's wait, give him the second leg. And what does he do? He gets a brace in this match with a beautiful penalty kick and then a giveaway goal towards the end. We have another super chat here from Fernando Ortiz, who says, moment of silence for Soltero. We will get into that very, very soon.
We'll get into that
very, very soon. We have Starless Sign 28, $2. Thank you, my friend. No Atletico semifinal match on my birthday.
Damn, that would have been a dope birthday. Happy early birthday either way, though, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. The energy in the room is, I mean, we have no producer, Rudd. Soltero's a little soulless right now. The energy in the room is very clear. It's very stark. Barca fans in the chat seem a little sad, too. Overall, pretty crazy what we saw happen today with both matches ending up with the same score. 5-4 in aggregate, bro.
Yeah, and both matches getting
insane.
flipped, right?
Yeah.
Both teams who had the lead going into the game losing out, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty ridiculous. But, yeah, what a quarterfinal.
What a quarterfinal.
I think when you look at the matchups that we have tomorrow, it's just going to continue. Like, this might go down as one of the most high goal-scoring quarterfinals ever. I just don't know how you realistically repeat something like this. 9 goals in each game? That's insane.
And just to kind of focus in on the PSG Barca match, yes, exactly. The super chats are exactly what I wanted to talk about. Agel says $2. Thank you, my friend. Nuno Mendes and Barcola really impressed today. That's what I want to talk about, man. A lot of these PSG players, given they were up an entire man for 60 minutes, they did step up. Nuno Mendes was incredible. One of the best fullbacks in the world when he's healthy and he's in form. I thought Fabian Ruiz was really good today as one of the more the midfield stalwart that he is. Vitinha has stepped up huge in both legs, scoring a goal in each one. I thought that was big. And then Dembele, to me, is the biggest surprise, bro. Yeah. 2 goals against his former team, actually showing up when it matters the most and scoring the first goal for PSG. I thought that was big. And then Barcola, he had his fingerprints all over this entire match, man. And then finally, when it was needed to for the dagger, we needed that dagger goal. That's where Kylian Mbappe stepped in. But I just think PSG on all fronts was incredible today, man. I was really, really impressed from that because, like I said, they could have disappointed. They could have succumbed to the pressure. They could have looked even worse losing on this result, not getting a result, being up an entire man. But they stepped up. I give them their credit. But man, what a match. What a match. We have some more super chats here. Michael Talks Football, my boy. Guys, go follow Michael Talks Football, one of the best football YouTube accounts out there. This man covers everything, and his ball knowledge is insane. Sabitzer was fantastic tonight. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that.
He's good.
We're getting there. We're getting there. But thank you, Michael. Abhishek Dubey says, I think the referee wasn't up to the mark. He just wasn't this match level. I think he made a lot of controversial calls, but I do think they were the correct calls. I think overall, if you look at the whole string of the match, they did favor PSG, but sometimes it just happens, man. Like some balls just hit a Barcelona player on the way out. It's a PSG corner kick. Sometimes a couple fouls go your way. Like it really was a situation where they did get the more favorable calls, but it was justified in my opinion. Alan Soltero. Same last name as you.
Hey, shout out Soltero.
Your big bro, little bro, cousin. What is this, man? $2. Shout out to Dembele. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Dembele. He deserves credit because I've just seen that man not step up in so many big situations. For him to finally do it, it's like a gift from God, man. Truly, and PSG fans must be excited that he actually came through for them. Let's look at some of these chats, man. Let's see what you guys are sending in. Bleacher Boy says it was a pin for Mbappe and a bounce around in the box. That is true. The goals were simple today. I mean, that second one, Koundé completely gifted it to him. It like just bounced to him and then he scored. But look, man, I'm just going to look at the score sheet. It says brace from Mbappe in a quarterfinal Champions League matchup. That's the danger there. I love it. Aurien Zarian says Barca will be back. I definitely think they will, but man, their season, I think this is how their season ends. No trophies, man. No Copa del Rey, no Champions League, and no La Liga. A trophyless season for Barcelona once again, and now Xavi set to leave, given that he left this match with a red card.
Xavi's been mouthing off on the sidelines as of late. I don't know if it's the pressure just getting to him or what it is, but yeah, for Barcelona, honestly, I would if I'm a Barcelona fan, I would actually be okay that y'all made it to the quarterfinals. Actually be way more than happy because I think at the beginning of this season, to say you would be in the quarterfinals and almost on the brink of a semifinals,
that is crazy.
I think that'd be asking a lot of this Barcelona team that, in my opinion, is still kind of trying to figure things out. So overall, yes, it's very disappointing, especially with a red card, but I think Barcelona should somewhat keep their heads held up high.
That is true. Yeah. Overall, yes, but I think the prospect of what could have happened, up 4-2 in control against PSG, they make it through. They face off against Dortmund, who they can also defeat.
Yeah, they
had a route to the final, bro.
Yeah,
I think that's the part.
That's frustrating.
That's the part, bro. And our whole red card is what got in the way from Barca being in the final against who knows who. But man, in a season where you wouldn't have expected it to be in a Champions League final would have been crazy. That's now all gone. They have a Clásico coming up, but I guess that's it, man.
Yeah, that's about it. If they win that game, they'll put a little pressure on Madrid, actually. It'll only be a 5-point gap.
Eddie at Fifi says, nowadays you can't have high blood pressure and be a Barcelona fan at the same time, dude. That's true. That's true, man. That cannot be good for you, bro. My prayer is up to you. Moises Reyes, $2. Thank you, my friend. Let's be honest, Dortmund 4-1 in that one. We got a Dortmund fan in here. Dortmund
absolutely.
Super chat. I mean, you should be celebrating, but I saw a comment here that says, I've never seen Soltero look so soulless. I think I'm sensing that right now from you, brother. And we're going to get there. We're going to get to your therapy session. I want everyone to be ready, but I want to acknowledge the Barca fans first. Paid referee, like how Mbappe is being praised for being gifted 2 goals. Okay. Tarek Dajani says, was the red card deserved or any other calls questionable? We talked about that at the top of the show. I do think ultimately it was deserved, although I understand why it's controversial. I do, because it was a little soft and it was early in the match and Barcelona was in full control. But you look at the play, it is a red card. He was one-on-one with the keeper, and he had a really good chance of scoring. So it is a red card, in my opinion. Mateo Pegasus, see, while you're busy being soulless, I'm busy having to worry about fucking writing a letter right now, dude. 5 pages. An apology letter is going to come soon. We will acknowledge that. We're going to acknowledge that very soon because y'all are becoming very eager to see that. I get it. But let's just finish off with Barca against PSG. What are y'all's final thoughts on this match? Send them in the chat. I want to know what you guys think about what happened in this game. How y'all feeling? Barca fans, are y'all all right? PSG fans, are there any of y'all? Because I don't actually see any PSG fans in the chat right now, man. We haven't seen one, bro.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's tough.
Tom Talks Films, $2. Vitinha looked amazing in both legs. Dude, I agree. Vitinha looked incredible.
His finishing in both legs was phenomenal. 2 goals that I didn't know Vitinha really had that in his locker. He pulled out some worldies in this quarterfinal. Yeah, he did. And that's also something I want to talk about because when the season started, when the Champions League season started, I stated that one of the reasons why I don't think Barca or PSG can win the Champions League was because of their midfield specifically with
Warren Zaire-Emery, Vitinha, and then at the time, Ugarte was getting the starts, right? Yeah. And all these guys are under 23 years old. Vitinha's still only 22 years old. And I used their midfield as the sole reason for why I didn't see them progressing, because I just think that inexperience would show itself out over time. I thought the lack of time in big moments and big stages might have worked against them. But I like what Luis Enrique did today, starting Fabian Ruiz instead of Ugarte, who's a bit of an older player with more experience, and then giving Vitinha the keys of the midfield to really shine, and kind of what was Verratti's role, man. Either progressing the ball forward, handing the ball off, or slinging it from outside the box, except showing a little bit more clinicality outside the box, in my opinion, I would say, because he's had some incredible finishes so far, not just in these 2 games, but this entire season, scoring so many goals from outside the box. He actually stepped up, and I want to give him his credit because I didn't think he would. I really didn't think he would ultimately.
But that's why I'm not really high on this PSG side, because we don't actually know if they would have stepped up. Like, circumstantially, they did up a man.
A great point.
But I just can't really give this to them fully, because I don't know if they would have been able to pull this off. They conceded to start the game.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, okay, this is PSG. They are underneath Barcelona. The red card was fair. It happens in this game, and they took full advantage. I'll give them credit for that for sure, as you already have. But it's just like, I don't know. I think the criticisms of PSG still fully hold. Yeah. And I think you have to take all of that into consideration going into the semifinal. Yeah. And then they get Dortmund in the semifinal, so probably you have to take those same considerations going into the final.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's just I don't want to overhype it. I agree. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't want to give them too much credit, because you're right. Barca was in control, bro, until that red card. They really were, and I cannot reiterate that enough, but those are the limitations that this PSG side has. Thankfully, it didn't limit them in this certain scenario. Aussie car, $2. Thank you, bro. You can't use ChatGPT for that letter, bro. I swear to God, man. I really was thinking about it. I really was. But here's the thing.
You should learn German.
You
should write it in German.
5 in German, bro?
In German.
5 pages in German? This is I'll get into the semantics of the letter very, very soon, because I have a lot to say about that. I really do. We have a super chat from Juan Rodarte, $10. 4 more goals given up by Barca, prelude to El Clásico. I mean, yeah.
It was a red card.
After the red card, bro. Yeah, all 4 after the red card. They had Frankie de Jong at center back at one point. They bring on Inigo Martinez. I mean, I'm not going to be harsh on them. They have a great defense, and they were controlling the match. But yeah, the Clásico is coming up. I don't think Barca is favored to win that matchup. We have a super chat from Abishek Dubé. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, man. What's your thoughts on Dortmund versus PSG? Also, there's a reason why there's no PSG fans. Also, what's your prediction for tomorrow's games? We're going to get to this. Because we want to preview these next couple matches, and we are going to react to the Dortmund match. But you're right. I think I'm seeing why there's no PSG fans in the chat. I just don't think they exist. I don't know if they exist. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. Truly. Die-hard PSG fans.
Die-hard PSG fans, yeah. I mean, jerseys everywhere, but...
Shit, what are you saying, bro? Let me read a few of these chats. Suyok says, Barcelona made silly mistakes. They lost because of their mistakes. That penalty was a mistake by Cancelo, and also Lewandowski being selfish, not closing on Vitinha. I agree with those things.
Yeah. And that's honestly how I'm taking this result for PSG, is that it's more so that Barcelona lost this game due to everything that he just listed out right now. Again, credit to PSG for taking advantage of Barcelona's mistakes, but this one's all on Barca.
Yeah.
This one's all on Barca.
Ultimately, it is. It's not like unlucky. It's not. It's none of that. Nah. They shot themselves in the foot here. Araujo ultimately does have to be more disciplined in that situation and not concede a foul there, man. Let him go by if you have to and rely on a great goalkeeper in Ter Stegen. Shad Kachu says Leva has to go. One play where he had Ferran and Rafinha in better positions and had better chance on goal. Xavi made bad changes. I would rather have Lamine than Leva. Lamine had more motor than Leva. That's true. And Lamine Yamal, I think he's honest when he defends. He'll track back. He actually does track back, and he'll slide in. He'll get a ball in, and I appreciate that. And then he's a little bit more dangerous on the counter as well, whereas Leva, I think he's been a little off this season. I understand Xavi's thinking, but either one I don't think would have made that much of a difference. What else we got here? Imagine their Klassiker and final. Let's go, same as 2013. That is in play.
It's on.
That's crazy. That is in play.
That is crazy.
Well, with that being said, then let's go over to Borussia Dortmund versus Atletico Madrid, where Borussia Dortmund got the result against Atletico Madrid to kick them out of this tournament. Soltero's beloved Atleti side, a team that he was vouching for, that he was dying for, and that he ultimately said would go see them in person if they progress to the semifinals. And where I said, if Dortmund wins this match, they get an apology letter from me that's 5 pages long because I doubted them the entire season. My friend, I'm going to hand it off to you. If there's anything to be said, please have at it. The floor is yours, my friend.
I'm not going to say anything surprising. If you watch the game or if people in the chat watch the game, you'll know exactly what happened, right? Atletico are very predictable. I previewed it in our Champions League preview. I talked about it in our stream or after the first leg. Atletico only win games this season when we bully our opponent, when we win matches, the physical duels in the midfield. 10 minutes into this match, after the game had settled, the ball was all in Dortmund's hands. And when that happens, we've lost 95% of those matches this season. So even though we got back into the game through a Mats Hummel's own goal, and then honestly a really good finish from Angel Correa, it was just, I was never fully convinced of this Atletico performance today. When you think about the 2 goals that we got in the first leg, it was because we were dominating them physically, winning the ball high up the pitch, and that's how we created havoc, got 2 goals, almost got a third one through Samuelino, and that was it. That's when we win games, and that's how we won the first leg. I didn't see any of that today. I didn't see any of that aggression, any of that midfield vigor, none of that today. And so after the 20th minute, I was like, okay, yeah, this is just going to be a crapshoot. We either get a little lucky, kind of like we did against Inter Milan, or Dortmund kill us. And ultimately, yeah, we got killed. We let in 4 goals today, bro. Yeah, 4 goals. And it was 11v11. It's not like the Barcelona PSG game where there's a red card for over an hour. True. And that's just unacceptable. You're not going to be able to go to a semifinal. You can't compete in a quarterfinal if you're always able to concede 4 goals. If that's on the cards, you're done. You're going to get fucked, bro. And that's exactly what happened today. I mean, that's pretty much it. But the thing is, I'm not too surprised because I knew Dortmund could do this. Yeah. I knew that Dortmund could hold on to the ball. I knew that they could move it in a really progressive fashion. And when Jadon Sancho's on the ball, when Mats Hummel's finding a wide open Julian Brandt with a nice, beautiful little chip ball, we're going to get our lines broken. And that happened 6, 8, 10 times today. And of course, we're going to concede. We don't have that defensive grit anymore to really shut out opponents that move the ball quickly. We just don't got it anymore. Yeah. So if we don't win that midfield battle, we're going to get cooked defensively on the defensive end. And that's exactly what happened today. So 4 goals. We get 2, 4-2. It could have been worse, honestly, if I'm really being honest. So that's my take on this. I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed that we didn't give a little more on the defensive end in the midfield. We just didn't work in the midfield at all. We let Dortmund come at us, and that's fine if we limit Dortmund's possession, but we didn't limit it at all. Throughout the entire 90 minutes, we were completely fine bunkering in and letting them attack us. And that's just literally a recipe for Atletico to lose.
Yeah, I really felt like, I was watching the game on and off. I felt like the door was always open for Dortmund, man. Like, you're right. It wasn't midfield battles, bro. They weren't retaining possession. The game wasn't played in the middle of the park. It was just back and forth. And in that sort of scenario, Atletico is never going to win because they're not that type of team, bro. No. You're really not. And Dortmund thrives on that fast-paced movement. And we saw it time and time again, the way they tortured that left wing to start off to get both goals through that side, and the way that they just constantly were on the attack. Even when they kind of held off a little bit, they still had those opportunities because I think that is what their strategy is. I think that's what Terzic was hoping to do, and Atletico kind of played into it today.
Yes.
And that's why I agree with your disappointment. I wish I could have seen more from Atletico in that sense, because even when it was tied 2-2 and it was favorable, Atletico was a goal up on aggregate, It never felt secure, man.
Never.
That anxiety was there.
Never.
That anxiety was always there.
Never. Sabitzer gets the ball on the left-hand side. He puts in a beautiful curling ball. Niklas Füllkrug jumps 5 feet in the air, and he puts in a beautiful header. I'm like, okay. We immediately, our 2 goals that we got is undone. And then 4 minutes later, Sabitzer scores a banger. Yeah. So it's just like, it was never secure. Mm-hmm. Even though we were crawling back into the game on the road, none of it was secure. And again, even one of the goals was so cheap with Hummels just getting a weird ass own goal. Yeah, like it was just not ultimately a very poor performance from Atletico, not organizationally, but just for me from like an athletic, the physical battles. We just didn't want it today. Yeah, and if we don't do that, we always lose.
Moises Reyes sends a super chat asking if Morata scores, does that change the game? I assume he's talking about that first opportunity, like 5 minutes into the match. What do you think?
The thing is, though, is that right before that chance, Sabitzer missed a sitter. So you could reverse the question and say, if Sabitzer scores, does this game end 6-3 or 6-4 or like whatever? Like, I don't think that miss matters at all, because Dortmund, the way that they were playing today, the way that Atletico invited them to play, we were always going to concede 3, 4, 5, 6 goals.
Yeah. Tarek Dejani says, sorry for that loss, Soltero.
I appreciate it,
who will you be backing now in the competition, if anyone?
Manchester City.
Yeah.
Manchester City. I mean, they're one of the best clubs in the world. They have some of the best players, one of the best coaches of all time. They're on one of the craziest runs in the Premier League of all time.
All right, dude, he's just asking the team, bro. Fucking relax, dude. Jesus Christ. Fucking City
Manchester City, bro.
Luis Melo, $10. One of my go-tos, man. My boy, Luis Melo, thank you so much, my friend. Here's $10 to help convert Soltero's therapy sessions after Atletico lost. My heart goes out to you. And then a salute emoji, I believe, or at least a sincere
Thank you,
emoji,
Luis.
man.
I really appreciate that.
That means a
brother.
lot. We'll buy him. What do you want with $10? Some Chick-fil-A or something? Get you some P-Terry, some water. Get you some food or something.
Yeah,
man.
give me some.
Get you a beer. I read a comment here. Daniel Lizarraga. Sounds Spanish to me. In my opinion, Atletico has to change all their defense. Our defense sucks, and Morata has to go as well. He missed an easy goal. Do you agree with these things?
I mean, mainly yes. Mario Hermoso has always been 7 out of 10 defender, right? He's never going to be an elite defender. He's never going to rise to an 8 or 9 average per game. Azpilicueta is ancient. That's always going to hurt us.
Ancient, bro. He's a mummy.
Axel Witsel is only getting older. He's losing his athleticism literally by the minute. Stefan Savic is always injured. Same with Chema Jimenez. They're always injured pretty much half the season every year. Yeah, the entire backline easily could go. I agree with it. They're good players, but maybe their careers need to go elsewhere. I'm not saying that they're bad players or that they don't give everything for Atletico, because they do, and I always appreciate it. But yeah, there's definitely some changes at the back. And for Morata, I've always had this take on Morata. He's a great goal scorer, but he's never been clinical. He's never really risen up to very, very big occasions. And him missing that little chip shot, I'm not surprised by that at all. Morata has been doing that his entire career. But that's the thing, is you have to accept that. If you have Alvaro Morata on your team, you have to know who he is. So I know who he is. And I'm happy to have him, because he does get us a lot of goals, and he commits everything to Atletico year in, year out. So I'm fine with Morata. We just have to understand that he's not an elite striker.
Yeah. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of chats in here. I think it's time that we talk, because we have 438 people in here. Please subscribe, comment, like, thumbs up this stream so we can get some more people in here, because I need y'all's input right now. The first topic was discussing Soltero and just personally how I felt about this Atletico match and what happened. The second topic, though, was dealing with me personally, because if you weren't aware, I have been doubting Dortmund this entire season after the fallout they had last year, where they lost the Bundesliga title on the very last day. I said, you know what? That mentally will break them. It will break this team, and they will not be able to bounce back from it this entire season. And then what do? They get drawn into the group of death in the UEFA Champions League with PSG, Newcastle United, and AC Milan, and they top it. They top it, bro. When I said they wouldn't even get out, they top it. And so I say, okay, I was wrong this time. They're going to get out in the round of 16 against a PSV team who at the time was undefeated in their domestic league. They're going to get out. Things will be fine. Dortmund finds a way to win. So I have to put up the bet. I have to put up the potential punishment in place because here we try to hold ourselves accountable for our takes. We really do.
Absolutely.
There has to be a punishment for the things that we say if they end up being wrong. And so I said, if Dortmund beats your beautiful Atleti, I will handwrite a 5-page letter to Dortmund that I will mail out to Germany or maybe even go visit Germany to deliver myself. But here's why I want the chat to get involved. Let's discuss the rules of this letter. Because I had a great person comment that I can't use ChatGPT. You know, they're already getting really controlling about what I should do. So let's talk about it. How should I approach this handwritten letter? I was thinking 5 pages, handwritten, single space. I can't double space this shit. And I just gotta write out. I gotta pour my heart out. I gotta say my apologies to Dortmund.
Okay, yeah.
And I gotta give them credit for everything they've achieved this season. So I want to hear it, guys. What else? What criteria should be in place for this letter? One man says, XPO 399, visit Germany. You will love it. I mean, Oktoberfest is right around the corner, bro.
It is. And, you know, maybe we indulge a little in the German culture.
Maybe. But this guy wants me to do it a little too much. Mohit Kumar says, write it in German.
Yeah, I'm with him. Write it in German. Learn German.
Learn German?
Learn their mother tongue. You're a little Deutsch, man.
I can't write it and then translate it. Finesse it a little bit.
And then try to speak it maybe a little.
Okay.
Maybe
film an entire video of me reading the letter.
Yeah. And do an English and German version.
Actually, I kind of like that.
That'd be kind of fun.
I kind of like that. Yeah, that sounds respectful. Write in Greek. Apologize to Julian Brandt. Half space, 2 lines of writing per 1 line of paper. Jesus Christ, half space is crazy. Write half space, not double space. Write in adjoining writing. Euros in Germany. 5 pages front and back is crazy, guys. Jesus Christ, that's 10 pages. That's 10 pages.
Dissertation.
Okay, fair enough. Kiss Germany, especially Dortmund. Fair enough. Okay, fine. Make your own ink. Jesus Christ. Each page needs teardrops. Bro, these ideas are crazy. These ideas are nuts. Write it in German cursive. Okay, we got to decide on something. I'll do 5 pages, single space, handwritten letter. So I can write it in English, but then what? How do I translate it over to German? How do I do that?
Just use Google Translate
Take
or something
a picture
like
or
that.
something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then print it.
And then print it in German.
Both English and you just have both copies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Read the letter on camera, right? And I'll read it in English and in German, and then potentially go visit Germany.
We got to get you a Dortmund jersey. We got to get you some sort of Dortmund jersey. Maybe we find one online, at least in the meantime. That'd be kind of cool.
I like that.
But can I say something, though?
Yeah, go for it.
This regarding Dortmund. Yeah. So they did beat PSV, who were unbeaten at the time, but, Dutch league.
Yeah.
Right? And the quarterfinal draw that they got, in my opinion, was the weakest team outside of Dortmund, Atletico. So it's like, yes, Dortmund definitely have deserved to go to the semis. I'm not saying that, but I am saying it's not like they've beaten England's best.
Oh, no.
It's not like they've beat Spain's best, because Atletico, I do not consider them in the conversation as La Liga's best this season, bro. And so it's like Dortmund have done very well to get here, but, what I'm saying is you might want to reduce it from a 5-page apology to like a 2-page.
I'm hearing you because, bro, even look at the group of death. You have a Newcastle United team.
Underwhelming this year.
Yep.
Very underwhelming this year, Newcastle.
AC Milan, who won last year but came in second in their league this year. Transition period, in my opinion. And then PSG, who's been weird.
They've been weird. And yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm with you, bro, but I'm a man of my word. But I agree.
And
don't gotta go too hard.
And not only that, Dortmund themselves have underwhelmed immensely in the Bundesliga this year. They are 23 points off of Leverkusen. Yeah. 23. It's kind of pathetic if you consider that Dortmund almost won it last year. So it's been a really bad title campaign for Dortmund. I think all things considered, the teams that they face in the Champions League, they deserve to be in the semis. But my God, have they gotten very favorable draws.
You know what's funny? I'm not going to pick them in the semifinal either. Right?
Hell no, you shouldn't. Nobody should.
Well, he says today, can we talk about Julian Brandt? Underrated as heck. $2, and he scored a banger. He scored a good goal. It was a good goal against Oblak today.
He blasted
the German Martin Odegaard, in my opinion, man, they look like twins, and plays a very similar role. Very active offensively, and he's been great.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. Julian Brandt, one of the most exciting attacking midfielders, I think, honestly, in Europe, simply because he really is like Odegaard, maybe even more offensive in the sense that Brandt doesn't defend whatsoever.
True.
And it's kind of cool that he just hovers right in that upper center part of the pitch, just waiting, looking for pockets to open up. And obviously he has the class and the ability to find any Dortmund player on the run, going out wide, combining with little 1-2s. Brandt's a joy to watch. Yeah. And it's why in the first leg when he started Felix and Mecha Terzic, I was like, oh, thank God, Brandt's not starting. Yeah. That actually helps us. But today, Brandt showed his class.
Yeah, man. His numbers are good once again this year. I remember last year, it felt like he really made a big jump. And he's just continued that. He really has. So good for him. Angel Rodriguez, $5. Thank you, bro. I don't think Kyle Walker would make a difference tomorrow. And if Jude is playing at his best, Madrid will win at the Etihad. Ooh, this is interesting because we will get into the previews for tomorrow real quickly, because tomorrow we have 2 games, 2 absolute dynamite matches tomorrow.
Saying Kyle Walker won't make a difference is an insane.
That is insane, though, because we saw what happened by him not playing last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll absolutely make a difference. For me, the bigger question is, what level does Jude play at?
That's the interesting part.
Because I don't think he was that impactful this last game. Will he step up this time around and actually show his class that we know him to have? Or will he get kind of shut down once again? I'm curious to see. More specifically with Jude, I'm actually more comfortable saying that Kyle Walker will make a huge difference tomorrow because he'll be able to match Vinny's speed and Rodrigo's speed on the wings.
Yeah, but that is a good point, though. If Jude is playing his best and he can partner up with either a Rodrigo or Vinicius Jr. prime performance, then yeah, you should feel really good about going to the Etihad if you're a Madrid fan.
Keenan Anderson, $5. Keenan's been watching the show for a while. I remember his name, so thank you, my friend. When was the last time we saw such a gap between UEFA Champions League and domestic league performance? Dortmund is 5th in Bundesliga right now.
Absolutely. And Atletico Madrid, we're 17 points off of Madrid in the league. We just got into 3rd place, bro.
Yeah, for a semifinal Champions League team to be that far off in the title in the domestic league is pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
Off the top of my head, I'm thinking, have we seen something like that in a long time? Man, it's tough to consider. What about, when Inter Milan and AC Milan faced off last year, in the semifinal? They were both the top 2. They were both off of Napoli.
Well, Chelsea, right when they won it, with Christian Pulisic, Thomas Tuchel, they weren't going for the title. Yeah, they weren't. I don't know exactly where they were in the league, but yeah, Chelsea was just in insane form. They had a good squad that year. And yeah, they played really good football, just like Dortmund are, right? Yeah. Again, the teams that they're facing, they're giving everything, and they are earning this semifinal appearance 100%. It is just crazy that their domestic campaigns have been so poor.
Dude, they've been bad.
So bad, man.
Bad, man. No Boca either. Joel Alvarado, did he apologize? He's showing up late. Blaugrana quarter. No need to write. You guys have proper knowledge. Sometimes it happens. This is football heritage. That's one of the truest things I've seen in this chat, man. That's so true. That is pure truth right there. Thank you, my friend, and sorry for your loss today because I do believe you're a Barcelona fan. Villarreal is what people are mentioning as the team that made it to the semifinal.
Oh, yeah. That team, man. Yeah.
And so with that, let's transition to the last topic. Let's talk about, bro, no Bundesliga knowledge. Bro, I love you, but it's hurting, says David. What are you talking about? Give me specifics here. What are we missing out on that apparently that we didn't mention?
I'm seeing other comments saying that basically, I think agreeing with David here in the sense that the Bundesliga is essentially underrated, right? Most people really only consider English, Spanish teams, and then honestly, even like the top teams like Inter Milan or AC Milan, if they're in it, I would say it actually is very common to underestimate Bundesliga teams in your UEFA competitions. But that's actually a bigger conversation that could be had maybe at a later date. But I definitely do think that there is a shift in the top European football league landscapes as far as who's better between Spain and Germany, league-wise.
Spain and Germany?
Yeah. And I think overall, if you could average out the teams, Germany might start actually being just a little bit better than La Liga. Because if outside of Real Madrid and Barcelona, dude, Spain doesn't have anybody anymore.
Yeah.
Atletico, this is the worst we've been in a while.
Yeah.
Girona's the next best team. Girona. And for as good as they've been this season, there's no way they'd be able to perform these type of competitions. You consider Bundesliga, RB Leipzig put up a hell of a fight against Real Madrid. Dortmund are in the semifinals of the Champions League. Bayer Leverkusen are unbeaten. They're in the Europa League. And they're just lifted their first title in over 100 years, whatever that statistic is. German teams are definitely going up. Stuttgart's having an incredible year this year. Can they continue that? So if you consider shifts with La Liga versus Bundesliga, I would definitely say Bundesliga is more on a rise and La Liga is more on a decline.
That's funny because that's ultimately what David is trying to say. He says, I think Bundesliga is second best league. Dortmund is fifth, killing Milan, PSG, Atletico. Imagine fifth from Spain, Italy, England doing this.
Right.
That is true.
Realistically, they probably can't. Yep. And I actually agree with that statement.
Yeah, Frankfurt won the Europa League 2 years ago.
Yes.
No, these are great points. They're great points. I think I just get a little scared because I remember last year people got so excited, so hyped about the Serie A being on this incredible turnaround because they were all in I believe they all made final appearances in European competitions. Yeah. But one of my boldest and best takes was that I predicted that no Italian team would lift a trophy in Europe, and it all came to be true. Their class and quality was shown at the very end of the day. The gap was clear, and we haven't heard from them since, man. And once again, they had a pretty bad European competition, I would say, this time around, outside of like Atalanta, I think is doing really good. But in the Champions League, we're not seeing much of an Italian impact. So I agree. I just get a little scared wanting to praise Bundesliga because the biggest take I had with Serie A was that they had favorable draws. They just kind of got lucky overall. And I mean, that's what Dortmund has had a lot of luck in, is the draw they've had leading up to the semifinal of the Champions League now. So I'm just saying I'm a little hesitant to go all the way there, but I do see what point you guys are trying to make. All right, so let's preview tomorrow's games. Let's finish off with that. Let's talk about tomorrow's bangers between Real Madrid and Manchester City, and then Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. This has clearly been the best quarterfinal matchups we've seen in the Champions League, I think maybe ever, with how high scoring these games have been. Tomorrow, I'm expecting to see just as likely of a performance from these two incredible matchups, man. Real Madrid, Manchester City, man. At the Etihad, 3-3 going in. We already mentioned it before in our past videos after we reacted to it, but man, I'm going Manchester City on this one. I think they have the clear advantage going into this match. De Bruyne was going to be healthy. Kyle Walker is back. Perhaps Nathan Ake. The front line is cooking. They just smacked Luton 5-1. I feel really good about Manchester City's chances going into this match. It is going to take a masterful performance from Real Madrid, and they are capable of that. But I will say, if Real Madrid comes out of this game with a result and in the semifinals, it might be one of the most impressive results from Real Madrid that I've seen maybe in my lifetime, man. Because I know Real Madrid is they're so well known for this. This is their class. This is what their history is. But just looking at individual performances, going to the Etihad where Manchester City never loses, and going to a place where they lost 4-0 just a year ago and flipping the result around would just be incredible, bro. It would be another landmark, another big moment in Real Madrid's incredible history. And I truly would be surprised if they managed to pull it off, but I'm going Manchester City.
Dude, honestly, amazing take, because you look at this Real Madrid side against Manchester City, objectively, Real Madrid is the underdog, right? Manchester City are the reigning champions. They're trying to win an unprecedented 4th Premier League title in a row, which would mark them as the greatest English team ever. And right now, Real Madrid's squad is very young. And all things considered, you could say inexperienced compared to the team, or to the Real Madrid teams that used to win these type of games, right? I mean, you don't have Karim Benzema anymore. You still have players like Luka Modric, but they are not major players anymore. They're on the bench. You know, they come on and they help out this younger team. Whereas when you look at Manchester City, it's pretty much all veterans, all experience, all players in their prime. But for players like Real Madrid, you have Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr., who are still trying to craft a legacy for themselves. So you take all of that narrative into account. Real Madrid are the underdogs, and it like by far too. So if they do get a result, I agree, it would be massive. One of the greatest Real Madrid victories in their recent history, by far, I completely agree, bro.
Yeah, that's why I'm so eager for this match, man, because the atmosphere is going to be insane, and the storylines, the narratives are going to be crazy. Let me see what you guys are saying about this matchup. I'm seeing Anthony Tarp say, currently in Madrid, and all I've learned is not to celebrate Dortmund goals at a bar. It sounds like you're in a pickle, my friend. That sounds crazy. What else we got?
Wait, what happened at the bar?
What happened at the bar, bro?
What happened there?
What happened at the goddamn bar? Tell us, Anthony. What else we got? Blaugrana Quarter says Man City have to stop Rodrigo and Jude, and the rest will fall apart step by step. Damn, he's planning Real Madrid's downfall.
It's hard to do that, though. Yeah. That's the thing. It's hard to do that. In theory, if you do that, you do win the game, but even the best defenders will struggle against Bellingham, Rodrigo, Vinicius.
Yes. Abbas says, hopefully Real Madrid will win, inshallah. Absolutely. They
have a good chance.
They have a chance.
But I just think Manchester City is the overall better team still, and will edge Madrid at the Etihad.
I'm also going Manchester City. I cannot wait. We will be live streaming tomorrow after that game, so it's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited for that draw.
And you know what's crazy, man? The lowest scoring game now going into the quarterfinal matchups is Arsenal-Bayern Munich. 4 goals combined here, whereas Real Madrid was 3-3. This is pretty crazy. 4 goals overall, but now we have Bayern Munich facing off against Arsenal at the Allianz Arena. Arsenal coming off of a really disappointing result against Aston Villa at the weekend.
Yeah.
And Bayern Munich losing the title this weekend to Bayer Leverkusen. Maybe mentally that has an impact, but still hosting a major match. Where are you at on this one?
I'm a little scared for Arsenal because they played their best squad against a decent Aston Villa side, and they lost fair and square. You consider that this match is going to be in Germany against a very, very experienced Bayern Munich side who has lost the Bundesliga. So this is all they have going for them this season. I feel like they're going to give everything. Whereas Arsenal, if they do lose tomorrow, they still are they're still in contention for the Premier League, right? They're right there. So I just feel like a desperate Bayern against a slightly out of form Arsenal, I think is a scary prospect if you're trying to support Arsenal.
Yeah, it is. No, dude, absolutely. I agree. The context going into this match is what scares me.
Yeah.
Man, I want to flip.
I want to flip, but I'm going to stick with the Arsenal prediction. I think Arsenal can pull this off. They still have, even when they're not playing well, one of the best offenses in the world. And very similar to Dortmund, Bayern Munich have very inconsistent defensive plays. So if Arsenal can just break the line once or twice, they will score.
God,
that is guaranteed.
All right, bro, you're in my ear right now, bro. Fucking let me think, bro.
It's guaranteed. But you know what's also a guarantee? A Bayern Munich goal, right? Like, they're going to get a goal as well. So, honestly, I see this one as a shootout more so than a tactical battle.
Yeah, I think it's similar to Real Madrid winning at the Etihad. If Arsenal gets a result here, this is history, though. 10 years. I mean, this is one of the biggest results in their history if they manage to pull it off against this giant of a team in the Champions League. For the sake of the narrative, for the sake of maybe a personal bias, I want to see Arsenal do it. I want to see Arsenal do it, man. I want to see Arsenal do it. More specifically because at the beginning of the season, we had a conversation about where would Bayern Munich end if they played in the Premier League? Where were they? What place would they land in? And you said 4th, I said 3rd, but I think we both agree that they would be under Arsenal. We got heavily criticized for that take early on in the season. Arsenal wins this game, it proves that we were right.
Yeah.
So I'm going Arsenal.
And I think it's on the books, man. Bayern Munich, I mean, we've seen it. They're 14 points off of Leverkusen or whatever it is. Like, they've been, by their standards, very poor this season. Yeah. So, yeah, I do think Arsenal is the better side. It's just tough to do it on the road considering that it's a draw right now. It's 2-2. But, yeah, I'm sticking with Arsenal. It would be history for them, but they do have the talent. Yeah. They have what it takes to pull this off. I don't think it's not going to take a miracle, you know?
Yeah.
They can do this, so I'm sticking with Arsenal.
God damn. Anthony Tarr finally responded. He says, everyone thought I was German. Started speaking Spanish in an American accent. It did not go well. I averted disaster by buying a beer for the man who confronted me. That's smart.
You went to an Atleti bar or something?
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's cheered for Dortmund in a Spanish bar. So, yeah, he probably, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
What are we seeing from you guys? Sorry, Reynoso, for coming for you, but I took an L with Barcelona, says Roger Rivera. Finally, man.
Roger,
Finally,
man.
we're on the same terms. Good Lord, bro. Donnie Licious says, hey, guys, love the content. Been a fan of Atletico since their underdog run in 2014.
Wow.
But to be honest, I feel it's time to follow another club.
I don't necessarily blame you, but yeah,
you can't back that.
I definitely get what you're saying. I don't back that, leaving Atletico, but I get what you're saying.
God damn. Ashley Molefi says Real Madrid has to win this game in order to be mentally fit for a Clásico. That is coming up for you guys. So it will be important. CPAPs. Bayern's morale and team spirit must be damaged after losing the Bundesliga. Arsenal do a good performance. 3-1 to Arsenal. That's kind of where I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. David, even I talked about my Bundesliga love. I'm not sure with that. Bayern missed many players and Sané have to play injured. So David, who backs the Bundesliga, is a little hesitant about what Bayern might be able to do in this game. I agree. You forgot my super chat. Let me go find it. Oh yeah. Boo Pinder says, "Sprich beat Josh equals please speak German."
We're gonna have a hard time with the Deutsch, man.
Dude, how the hell am I supposed to say that? Hold on, I'm gonna look that up on Google. I want to see how that sounds.
I think it's Sprich bitte Deutsch, something like that.
Okay, let's see how far away you are from that. That sounds accurate. All right, here we go. Yeah. Hold up, one more time.
Sprich bitte.
Oh shit.
Sprich bitte.
Sprich bitte.
There you go.
Sprich bitte. Please speak German. Sprich bitte.
Sprich bitte.
I like that. I can do it.
Give Reynoso a month. It's gonna be brutal, man.
Good German, my friend. Guys, any other questions? What do we have here? Fernando Cruz, $5. He says, what if Bayer Leverkusen were in this year's Champions League?
I know, man.
How far do you think they would have reached?
I wish they were. We talked about this off camera, just like imagine if this Leverkusen team was in the Champions League. It's honestly a miss, not just for Leverkusen. I'm talking about like UEFA's missing out on this, bro.
Yeah.
The world is
money.
missing out. Yeah, the money, like the draw that an unbeaten Leverkusen going into the knockout stage would have had, ridiculous. It's a miss that Leverkusen just didn't finish higher up the league table last year. But that's just, it is what it is, man. It sucks. But I mean,
where did they finish? They finished in fourth, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was fourth.
Leipzig was the third team.
Yeah, Leipzig was third.
So let's say they would have landed in Leipzig spot instead, right?
Okay.
So they would have faced off against Manchester City in the round of 16.
Madrid.
Round of 16. City faced Leipzig in the round of 16. Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, they would have faced off against. Oh, damn. Yeah,
that would have been a hell of a match.
Leverkusen, Real Madrid in the round of 16 would have been the matchup.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But that matchup would have been crazy.
But I mean, if they had Dortmund's line, they'd easily be in the semifinals. They would have been Atletico. They would have been Atletico.
Yeah, they would have been Atleti. They would have been PSV. They would have been the favorite against PSG. They could have gone to the Champions League final. That's crazy.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, I would actually consider them favorites against PSG if they were playing. Yeah,
100%.
That's insane.
100%.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they would have still been unbeaten. There's no way. In the Champions League.
Yeah.
In the Champions League, there's no way.
Yeah,
there's
even
no
like
way.
group stage, maybe you lose one.
There it is. Leverkusen was 6 last year.
Oh,
Bundesliga has 4 spots for Champions League. That's true.
My
I blanked
goodness.
out. That's true. I got Bayern winning because the Alliance Arena is a scary place to go coming from Barca fans.
Yeah, and that's why I am hesitant for Arsenal. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. Again, especially since Bayern Munich are desperate for something this season. It's just been a mess at Munich.
Yeah.
But the fact that they still have a chance to go to the semifinals, it might redeem a lot of the mistakes they've made this year.
Yeah. Heja BVB, man. These BVB fans are finally showing up. Yeah. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, shout out to Dortmund, man. They played really well.
Yeah. Donnie Licious, that might be Daniel Malin. What potential game do you guys think would have the craziest sights? I think a World Cup final between Brazil and Argentina.
I hope that happens like during our...
The craziest game, I'm thinking Barcelona Madrid Champions League final would be crazy.
Yeah.
I think Brazil-Argentina would be crazy. I think Brazil-England would be crazy in the final.
Yeah.
I think, fuck, man, what other matchups create that much?
I think Brazil-Argentina is like the pinnacle of like finals. Because if they were to meet in a World Cup, that would be, I mean, it's like storybook. You consider both of their histories. They both have one of the most decorated histories in the World Cup specifically. You also consider the amount of legends that those two countries have produced. They bleed football, bro. They bleed it. So I think a final between those two countries in a World Cup setting, I would be incredible. And I hope it happens before I'm 60 and can't move or something.
We have to at some point see a crazy matchup like that. I think so. I think so. At some point we have to see that, man. Yeah. Blaugrana Quarter says Arsenal 4, Bayern 2. If Bayern win, I'll unsubscribe you guys. That's crazy. Is that a punishment for you or something? Damn, bro.
Shit, man.
Sorry, Soltero says Chinos. Thank you, my friend. Daniel Lizarraga, I love saying that guy's last name. I have faith, Bayern Munich, that we could win Arsenal because we have a world-class striker that we could depend on, and Arsenal doesn't.
Very true.
They have world-class wingers, though. El Catch Talks, $5. Thank you, bro. Man City founded Year of the Dragon. Will win this year at Year of the Dragon. And Pep Guardiola, Pig Year.
Okay.
Pig and Dragon, friends. Manchester City champ. You get the logic there?
I think so, actually. Yep. Yeah, Year of the Dragon. It's the Year of the Dragon. They were also founded, right? Founded the Year of the Dragon. And apparently dragons are friendly with pigs. And Pep's a pig year.
Pig's a pig year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, man.
Okay.
I mean, I do think the stars are aligning for Manchester City.
The stars are literally aligning.
I do think so. God damn, man. Morata better not meet me on the street.
Man. I do miss Diego Costa. I will say that.
Yeah, who has been y'all's best striker in the last 20 years? Is it Diego Costa?
Costa for sure.
Fucking Falcao at his peak?
Falcao would have been if he stayed there longer.
Torres? Was it?
Falcao would have been if he stayed there longer.
Yeah.
And same with Torres. Torres was only there for a little bit, and then he went to Liverpool.
Yeah. If Haaland doesn't score, how would you guys rate his performance this year this far? I would. For reference, I'm going to do a Reynoso Mountain update this weekend. So I'm looking to see at what players stand out in these huge quarterfinal matchups. If Haaland doesn't score, he definitely drops in overall ranking. Right now, I have him in the third tier, the third highest tier. But he's going to drop to 5 or 6 if I don't see him produce some sort of special moment or some goals in these big matches. But he'll still be on the mountain, I think.
Yeah, I agree. That's a tough question, though, because Haaland is just goal scoring, right? Like, he doesn't have to do anything else on the pitch. And if he gets the goals, then he's doing his job. So I think that's a tough question.
Yeah, it's a tough question. Talk about Cole Palmer this year. My boy Cole Palmer, man. You said something so real to me one time about Cole Palmer. The most English-looking player I've ever seen. The most English player, bro.
He's a bloke for sure.
Off the streets, straight into the fucking pitch, and just an absolute baller in his first full season. What were his 19 goals, 10 assists is what I'm saying? Yeah. Some madness. Pretty crazy that Manchester City can offload a talent like that, and he can go on to be the best player for a team like Chelsea. And, they don't feel the weight of his absence. I think that's pretty crazy.
You word it like that, and that's insane. What's interesting, though, is that I wonder if Palmer would have had the same impact in Pep Guardiola's system.
No, I don't think he wouldn't. I don't think he would have.
Yeah.
Boo Pender, $2 says, can we see a Der Klassiker final? We do have to talk about that because that is a potential now, man. The path is crazy. Dortmund defeats PSG, which I'm really excited for because when it comes to Champions League football, I'm always more excited about the semifinals than the final itself because those are the matches where you get to see them go away and at home in front of their fucking fans, whereas the final, although this one's going to be really good at the Wembley Stadium, is going to be great, but usually the final doesn't live up to it in terms of atmosphere. So the semifinals I'm really hyped for. That Dortmund atmosphere, welcoming in Mbappe, and the Parc des Princes, hosting Dortmund is going to be make for a crazy matchup. Dortmund supersedes that. They somehow get past that, and Bayern figures it out too. Their Classico would be crazy. It'd be crazy.
There's no way. That's got to be the least likely final, though. It has to be. I'm talking like the bookies out there. They're like, there's a 1% chance that specific. Maybe one of them gets there, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
But both of them getting there?
Is it less likely than... let me see. Bayern's at home. Less likely than Real Madrid, Dortmund. That's the closest thing I find.
I think it is less likely because I would say Madrid have a better chance of going to the final.
Okay.
I think it's the least likely option.
Yeah. God, yeah, they're right, man. Then that would be insane to see that happen.
Yeah.
El Rey Velez, $5. Thank you, bro. That feeds us. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Hi, guys. Just showing love for the pods. greeting from Alaska.
I love that.
That might be the first Alaska viewer we've ever heard of. Y'all got any teams up there, man? No MLS squads up there in Alaska?
I don't think
US.
They don't have anything. I don't think they have any sports teams out there.
Damn,
not even like
man.
college.
Then what are you doing up there, El Rey Vélez? Tell us in the chat. What are you doing in Alaska, bro? And is there a time difference? I'm actually
huge time difference. Probably it's probably like 4-hour difference.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh good lord.
Maybe more 6.
Who's at number 1 on the mountain? You will find out this weekend, my friend. I'm
great
already
question.
working on the list. I think it's really, really interesting. Go back and watch the video if you want to see where they stood 2 months ago. A lot has happened since then. Bellingham hasn't played as well recently. Mohamed Salah has actually lacked a lot of goals recently. Foden's playing really good. Rodri's playing amazing. Who steps up into that top player right now? The Ballon d'Or frontrunner, if you want to call it, because it's going to be a really good conversation. That video comes out this weekend. Fernando Cruz says Keylor Navas over Donnarumma.
I like that one.
Thing is, dude, I was thinking about it watching the Barcelona PSG game, and Navas never made me as anxious as Donnarumma has made me these past 2 games, bro. Donnarumma has actually scared me a little bit, especially with his performance in that first leg against Barca. Navas never made me feel like that, bro.
Yeah.
He had his mistakes, and that's fine. It happens to all keepers, but Navas still had an element of grit, I think, or confidence that there's times where I feel like Donnarumma just doesn't care or is just a little lazy at times, man. It really worries me. I actually would have gone with prime Keylor Navas. Keylor Navas now probably isn't the smartest option over Donnarumma, but I do think in their primes, I'm taking Navas personally, man. He's part of the reason why the Real Madrid won those Champions League titles.
Exactly. I was just about to make that point. Prime Navas is a Champions League winner. He's one of the best goalkeepers of the 2010s.
Yeah.
Donnarumma is just the next generation, but I think not as good. At least right now, not as good.
Yeah, I agree. So then we just talked about what's the least likely final. What's the most likely final then?
The most likely
looking at it right now
has to be PSG
Man
on the
City.
Right side, and then I would say Man City on the left.
Man City, PSG. Dude, that'd be a good final.
It would be a fun one.
Damn.
That'd be really, really fun.
Damn, 2 heavily funded clubs going at it with Mbappe on one side and Haaland on the other.
Hey,
okay. Damn, that'd be crazy.
Would that be the first time?
No, PSG second time when they lost to Bayern a few years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean like Haaland, Mbappe.
Oh yeah, that'd be the first time.
That'd be the first time, right?
In a final, but did they face
played?
off in the Champions League when it was Dortmund, PSG at any point? There might have been a chance they faced off in the Champions League.
It would have had to be last year though, because last year was Haaland's first year.
Right.
So
it didn't happen. No, that didn't happen at all last year.
I don't think it did.
No.
Yeah, so this would be the first time.
Wow, man.
Unless Norway played France in a friendly or something.
No, I mean Monaco days. Neither. No, Haaland wasn't on the map like that yet. I think. PSG Man City final would be is what I'm rooting for from this point forward.
Same. No, it's what I think will happen. It's also what I want because I think it'd be the best final kind of for everybody. The narratives at stake would be really cool. PSG still trying to get their first Champions League title with all the billions that they put into the squad. It's also like a weird transitionary period for PSG over the last couple of years where they have Luis Enrique now trying to build an actual squad rather than rely on star players. That's such a cool narrative. But then you still have prime Kylian Mbappe as the star for PSG, so that star power is still there. And then, of course, Manchester City, as I already said before earlier in this stream, they're going for history, bro. They're trying to mark themselves as one of the best clubs ever.
Yeah. When you put it like that, bro, the match sounds crazy. Asa Gisa does not want it. Nah, guys, come on. We need a bit of tradition in a final, not just money. If you're looking for tradition, then the final should be Dortmund.
Dortmund's traditional is
versus any of Arsenal, Madrid, Bayern.
I guess Bayern or Madrid.
Yeah, Bayern or Madrid. If you want a tradition. Rodri or Jude, in parentheses, I'm from India, dude. It's 3:30 a.m.
Hell yeah, man.
Rodri or Jude, I'm going, fuck. Oh, Jesus.
I'm going Jude. If I had to build a team, I'm going Jude Bellingham.
Fuck, man.
Like number one
you
pick.
just threw that at us. Fuck, man. Let me think. Rodri or Jude, if I had the option. I mean, is it for just one single season or is it for career? Like, Jude has 10 more years in the bag of like this level of play. Rodri's like 26, I think, 27. But Rodri hasn't lost in an entire year. And I just feel so safe when Rodri's playing. I'm actually going to go Rodri on this one.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Rodri.
he's one of the best midfielders ever. He's a fantastic player.
I'm going to go Rodri. Mbappe and Haaland met when he was at Dortmund in 2019-2020.
Oh,
that's what we were looking for.
Okay.
So then PSG, Dortmund, 2019-2020 Champions League season.
Sure, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But definitely wasn't in a
definitely different
final or semifinal. Yeah. Man, that's crazy. River says, who's Soltero's team in Spain? Do you have a team in Spain?
The one and only Atletico Madrid, my friend.
Man.
The one and only.
Hey, Andre Velas responded to us. No sports teams up here in Alaska.
Yeah.
Currently, it's 2 p.m. up here, so just 3 hours behind us.
Okay.
Damn, man. That's is your El Rey Vélez, is it El Reynoso Vélez, perhaps? That'd be nice. But, hey, thank you, man, for the donation. And, guys, thank you all for an incredible stream. We'll be back tomorrow with a banger of a stream with producer
excited.
Rudd back and 2 big matches. It'll be a traditional approach to streams. It's going to be amazing. Meet us here once again because we're going to have – it's going to be crazy. It's going to be scenes. If Manchester City wins or Real Madrid pulls off a crazy result – going to be losing our minds out here. So, guys, make sure to join us tomorrow. Thank you all for participating in the chat, and we'll see you guys in 24 hours. Peace.